Hey, 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 hey. It's your brother King Simon. Just want to remind you, we got a great show for you. That's right. On Sunday, May the 16th, we have the one, the only founder of EataCure and the KaribbeanKraze. The one, the only MARCIA Moore will be here. Right here on King Simon Presents on YouTube with my girl Aisha Moore and myself. So keep it locked right here on King Simon Presents, also on Facebook Live. And more than likely, we're going to share it on Twitter also because she has a journey, not only as a spoken word artist, but an author, also a health advocate, natural healing advocate, because she went through. Keep it locked right here on King Simon Presents for Sunday, May the 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't you miss it. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Number are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. Good day. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? Giving thanks and praise to the Almighty Creator and all the ancestors that's within us, outside of us, and that's working through us. Oh, tonight we have a great show for you as we present the one, the only Marcia and Moore, extraordinary author, poet, natural healing advocate, and founder of EataCure and KaribbeanKraze. That's the show for the evening. And of course, our partner in Vibe is right behind stage. We'll be bringing it up momentarily. Just want to remind you, this coming Wednesday, y'all, we got Lioness Crown. Lioness Crown will be with us, celebrating 96th born day anniversary of Malcolm X. How should young people apply his message today? Don't forget, on the 20th, Thursday, we got Dr. Phil Valentine speaking on recoding the human archetype as he speaks about his next webinar coming up. And then on the 22nd, Saturday, we'll be interviewing Ama Akata and Joshua Sarah speaking about Math is God's Autobiography. Oh, as we prepare for a lecture that's coming up May the 30th at Nicholas, Brooklyn. Oh, yeah. Also on Sunday, May the 23rd at 7 p.m., we got Nadine J. Barton, Chief Petty Officer, multi-published author, and trauma and pain survivor. She'll be here with us on Sunday, May the 23rd. And then that Wednesday, May the 26th, we got Susie Q, aka Shireen, former disco diva and founder of Native New Yorkers, the first Black-owned and operated booking, modeling, and acting agency in Montreal, Canada. Many films have been filmed out there, and she's been a part of it. So I can't wait to have her on the 26th, 9 p.m. sharp. Then we're doing something called Spread Light and Love on a sponsor. On Saturday, May 29th, we'll be interviewing the proprietor of Better Health Shop right here on YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook Live. That's right, it's going to be live, so don't miss it. And those that are in the New York area, guess what? We will be doing a lecture inside of Brooklyn. Oh yeah, this is my first lecture that I've done. So myself, Sister Amma, Brother Joshua will be doing the lecture called Math is God's Autobiography. That's right. Math is God's autobiography. Woo-hoo! We're going to go into it. So we're going to have a good time right there in Brooklyn at Nicholas, Brooklyn. Beautiful store. I think we might do it live also. I'm thinking about it. Gonna see if we're gonna do it live so people can pay to come in and check this out, because myself and Joshua are gonna be tearing it up, and Sister Amma. $25 in advance, $30 at the door. You want to find out more information, all you have to do is text me at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. You can pay via Cash App. You can pay via PayPal. And if you want to get on the live stream for this event, connect with me and I'll text me and or email me, whatever you got to do to find out what's going on. So, but tonight, we got an extraordinary, beautiful sister. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's a symbol. She's an artist. She's a poet. We're going to be bringing her up momentarily. Let me bring my partner up in Vibe, the one, the only Empress Aisha Amore. Let's bring her on. Oh, Lord, let me bring myself on. I'm chilling. Let me bring myself on tonight. Oh, yeah. Let me take that camera down. And let's bring on Empress Aisha Amore. Empress Aisha, what's up, girl? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I can't hear you. What's up? You all right? You're freezing. Oh, you're freezing like a popsicle. Okay. Okay. How you feeling today?
Doing good. Yes.
Okay, that's great. How's the family? Everybody all right?
Everyone is great. Yes.
Okay,
Everyone
good.
is doing good. Yeah. How about you all? How's everything?
Chilling. We was out there chilling, hanging out with Lloyd Strayhorn, hanging out with Unc Rising Son at Nicholas. So they got, matter of
Oh,
fact, Unc Rising Son gave me some beads here, some nice all mixture of all of the energy. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energized.
let me
But
see it. I can't see it very well.
well, it's like one of these. Yeah, he made them right
Oh,
there
okay.
on the spot. Oh yeah. A lot of energy, Abyssinian,
That's
all kinds of stuff is in
good.
this. All kinds of crystals and stones and
It looks
all kinds.
strong.
Yeah. It's got a lot of energy behind it. So I'm happy that I got energized. But we got our guests on the backstage getting ready, and this has been a beautiful day. And the sister that we're about to bring up, she's someone that I met through a mutual friend, and that friend is brother Major Hype, good friend of mine. Got to give him a well-deserved round of applause, man. Uh, as he was coming up as one of the younger soldiers that under the DJs under Bobby Condas and Jabba back in the day, and Massive B and the
Mhm.
whole crew and all the clubs that we used to do. I was right there as one of the older brothers, a little bit older, but we was there before doing what we do in this business, and they was coming up doing what they do, and I'm just happy that he is doing what he does today. What I'm saying? As a comedian and people, and he used to work on the train, so enough respect to Major Hype. So this,
Right.
this sister here, she's been doing some great work, and what I found out as well, I got one of her books, those that this is called Marcia the Poems from the Heart. Marcia M. Moore, says Harvey up here, but I know she's not related to Steve, so it is what it is. So I can't tell you, but Steve Harvey's crazy. But I'm glad that had chosen to come on this show and shed some light and spread some love about her journey as a healer,
Yeah.
a
Can you say
poet. You
what
know,
what yeah, what intrigued you about her? Like what made you say I have to get her on the show?
what she did some poetry on brother thing there. They was trying to put us together, and I was like, look here. I came on to check her out because I love her story. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, but it was one of those. They had a matching, I think a night of matching people together, and
Mhm.
Major Hype felt because of the knowledge and all the stuff that she's been through, and she's also a chemist, and he knows I'm book knowledge and all that kind of information, and I like to study and research. He felt that we should come together in some way. But it turned out to be a good friendship. We're developing a good friendship, and we're just cool. And I'm just elated to have her on, just as
Yeah.
a author and a friend. Because I'm like, look, man, I really don't do all that stuff on air. I'm real private about my stuff. Keep my stuff. So if I'm going to do anything, you won't know I did until it's done. That's just me. I'm crazy with that. But the sister here that we're about to bring on is not only a natural healing advocate, poet, she's an entrepreneur, she's a chemist. She's loved the science. She loves the sciences. And she's also the owner of EataCure and KaribbeanKraze. Make sure you go to her website and show that love on Caribbean
Yes.
Craze with a K. And all of this, you got her email. You could hit her up and show some love by her email if you want to find out more about her journey and all that. But also, she's on IG at EataCare and on IG at KaribbeanKraze. And I want to welcome right here on King Simon Presents for the first time, my dear and wonderful Marcia Moore is coming in the building right now. And we welcome
Hello,
her.
Hey, how are
Greetings.
greetings
How
to
are
you?
you?
I am well. I am blessed. I am here. Grateful to be here with you guys this evening.
Yes. Yay.
Wonderful. How you been? How's the family?
Pretty good, pretty good. Everybody's situated and safe right now, so that's all I
That's
could
good.
ask for. You
Yes,
know?
yes.
Yeah.
That's the powerful thing. That's the good thing about
Yeah.
you in town or you out of town still?
I'm back. I came back
Oh,
yesterday.
okay.
Friday night.
She was out there in JA, man. I miss Jamaica.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy, man. I forgot about that Jamaica soon.
You said in JA, what's JA?
Jamaica.
Hmm?
Jamaica.
Oh, you
Jamaica.
was in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not Jamaica Queens, but
No,
Jamaica.
no. Definitely not Jamaica Queens. Who wanna go there? Right?
Nothing wrong with Jamaica, Queens, New York, though. I am Brooklyn born, so I'm very familiar with New York.
Right, you're all Brooklyn born. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
which part of Brooklyn you was born in? Huh?
Flatbush. I was born in Brookdale Memorial
Oh yeah,
Hospital.
you ain't around my area there. Okay. Brookdale, Lord have mercy. Right in the Brownsville area, man. Brownsville, Flatbush, those areas right there. So
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, my dear, finally we made it here. We
Yeah.
made it here, and I'm honored to have you here. I heard your little stint on a major hype show with Tamara, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Speak
Thank
the
you.
truth.
That's right. We speak the truth.
It was
Speak
all
the truth and shame the devil. That's right.
more Simon.
So first, let's talk about you. Of course, we know you're Brooklyn born. Your family's from out of Jamaica. The Caribbeans, of course, of JA. Is both parents from Jamaica?
No, just my father. My mom's American.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
both
I'm American.
American. Yes, I remember that group back in the day too, Jamaican. You know? Yeah, old friends of mine, man. Shine and Notch. Those are old friends of mine. I used to work with them back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so well, I used to be a publisher, a writer, well, a journalist for a magazine. So I interviewed them and a lot of people back in the day.
Okay.
But the journey through New York to the Caribbean, back to New York. Tell us about Marcia and her journey from a child here, and what made you become, let's see, a poet and getting into the writing or using words, of course. I like to say spoken word because it's such a spoken, it's an excellent term, but I know like a lot of people like to call themselves poets, but that spoken word is such an art form to me. And I've hosted a few, I've been at a few, and I what made you get into that first, and then we're going to get into the natural health and all the stuff that you do, please.
It's funny you say that, Simon, because honestly, I don't consider myself a spoken word artist. I don't even memorize the poems. That's the funny thing to me, but I am learning to express better, that even if I read from something, that I can put the passion and emotion to it, that it almost comes off the same way. And I've learned there is different types of spoken word. Just because it's not memorized doesn't mean it's not spoken word. It's what you said. It's spoken word. It's animating what you wrote. And as long as the passion is coming from the heart, then that to me is what makes it that spoken word, what was put in you now that you're bringing it out. So for me, I honestly started writing, I think I was 11 or 12. And I used it as a way to honestly just deal with pain and struggles of life. In my early teens relationships when I started dating. So I always liked to write. It was an easy way for me to express myself. So I guess I was always born, with that creative gift. Now, it wasn't until I got older that I realized I wanted to actually publish the poems or actually utilize the poems. And just to fast forward really quickly, I didn't even get to publish those until I was married at the time, which is why everything is under Marcia M. Harvey. That was my married name.
Right.
And I had honestly did not get to publish it until I stopped working. When I stopped working as a forensic scientist, when I got sick, that's when I published books. It took 23 years, I think, before they actually came to publication. But I have been writing since I was 11. And that's where that Marcia poetry series came from. Marcia Poems from the Heart is like a collection of poems of my life and my journey and my spirituality from 11 or 12 when I started, I think to around 19 or 21. And then Marcia Eyes to the Soul is like my young adult life up until midway through my marriage. I was married. I was with my ex-husband 10 years. And the third book, Marcia, Thoughts from My Mind, was like the last leg, like 30s on. And then from there, which you don't have, Simon, because I switched over to audio at that point, Dragonfly Chronicles Volume 1. And that's an audio CD. It's not a written book. And that's where Dragonfly comes from for my poetry name.
Wow. I mean, that's such a journey, especially with
that name was given to me in the hospital when I was sick.
Oh, wow. Dragonfly.
Yes, everything ties together. Yeah.
Why did they say dragonfly? Like what was
so dragonflies are messengers of light. They bring deep surface things to light. They represent prosperity, hope. So that kind of embodies who I am, honestly. And when I was in the hospital, it was the last flare-up that I had, which is what caused me to be where I am today, which we'll dive into later. I was actually just getting like a hairpiece supporting my friend, and I had locks at the time, and I had the locks up, and because I was sick in and out, I couldn't utilize my hands. I had more MS than lupus back then. So in doing that, I was like, well, let me support her, get a little hair clip to put up my locks. And I saw the dragonfly, and I just like felt like I heard something like, that's you. I'm like, okay, that's me. What does that mean? Like, and I had already had a previous conversation with my brother, who I was doing some artistry work with him at the time, managing him. And we had just had a conversation about the importance of names. So I knew that whatever name I picked, it was like I really had to know that that's what it was, because that's going to represent my brand. And when that came to me in the hospital, and after that visit, I had got well and was kind of fine after that. So when I looked up Dragonfly and really looked into what it meant, it was like, okay, I get it now, God, thanks. And I literally have learned to embody it. When I go on stage, I get wings. The more I perform, the more creative I become. And it's really a nice thing. And it actually tied into my other business later, where my logo is a dragonfly infused with the medical symbol, which again, everything ties in together.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
Those that are just tuning in, we are speaking with Marcia M. Moore, guest, and of course, natural healing advocate, entrepreneur, chemist, author, poet, owner of EataCure and KaribbeanKraze. And those that are please like and thumb up the video, family. Share, because that's about building the algorithm of the family. Like, thumb up, and share the video, because it's very important, the information that we're about to drop with this sister. Because I like to bring new people that y'all don't see. I know y'all used to the regular ones, as far as the old heads and the other brothers and sisters that I've brought in over years, and not just this, but on Blog Talk and different other places. But this is very important, because it's always about respecting people that are coming up and doing what they're doing that serves a purpose in our community. And once you support people like that, is important. This is a website that she has also, www.KaribbeanKraze.com. And of course, if you want to spread love, go to her email, go to her IG, go to all of that. I supposed to have your Cash App. Did you send me your Cash App? Did you get to send me your Cash App?
I did. I thought I did. Yeah, it's Marcia 238.
I'm going to check it out. I'm going to find that. You said Marcia what? Let me put it in right now.
238.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Yes, hold on. I put that in there because people spread love. Yes, I'm not here. And that's Marcia 238?
Yes, that is correct.
Same as the email, similar, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just make sure that is copied, and then we go to the $, and then we make it happen. Then we put Cash App. Stop playing. Got y'all working now. Y'all gonna help support our people while we're doing so. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me make sure that is it, and we're gonna put there it is. Lot of mercy. All right, good. So spread love, spread Spread love, family. It's all about spreading love. Forgive me with my round shades. I wanted the Prince one with the circle on top, but I couldn't find it. So I might have to make it.
I love your energy, Simon. I love your energy.
Yes, you look cool with them on. Keep them on. That's good.
I'm trying, sisters. I'm trying. But so sister, let's get into it now. Because you're a scientist, you're a health advocate. Which one you want to touch on first? I know it all mixes and blends in together somehow, some way.
So before we start that, didn't you said you had a poem? You had a question about one of my poems in the book.
Oh yeah. But we could, because I know if I know Empress Aisha more, she's probably gonna want you to do a poem towards the end.
Okay. Well, let's do you. This is your story.
I know how she wants to get down. We ain't gonna do it right now, but I do see a poem that's really catching my eyes. Been catching my eyes. I was reading through the book on page 37. So you remember that poem? You know what it is. So. Look at your face. It's called Misled, but we're gonna talk about that. I want to talk about that after. But all right, and you was under your marriage name, so I know that's deeper.
That's what I mean. Okay.
All right. All right. So let's go to chemistry now. You're before we go to the health part, because there's a lot of people out there that are studying different sciences. They have to take calculus to get into the chemistry classes and all that kind of stuff. I have one of my daughters. She's a bioengineer studying all that stuff. She's doing her thing. Now, what made you get into the chemistry, and what field of chemistry are you in, or were you in?
Okay, so I love science from a child. A lot of my family members on my dad's side, the Caribbean side, are heavy into the science and health field. So my aunt was a science teacher, and my uncle was a scientist. Like, he almost went to med school, and I might have studied like marine biology, I think. But he ended up being a chemist for the Coca-Cola company in New York. So he would go to visit. He was living in Queens at the time, and we would go with him. I went on tour with him through the syrup department. And when I went on tour with him, I fell in love. Like, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And then from a child, I always wanted to help people. That's my gifting. And I always wanted to help people that were suffering. So chemistry was a way for me that I wanted to cure people of sickness and disease. Honestly, it's like a running joke. I thought, because I always say to myself, I really don't know what two chemicals go together. Like, that's a little joke that chemists might say sometimes. But I say, look, I don't even know what two chemicals go together. I will end up making a cure by accident. So I would, but because some of the greatest inventions came by mistake, and basically that's what that comes from. So in doing that, I always wanted to do some type of chemistry. And believe it or not, I actually started in pharmacy school. My parents wanted me to be a doctor. And it's not that I didn't want to do that. They knew I was smart enough to be, but for me, I don't like to watch people suffer. So I want to help, but I can't watch the suffering. I'm a empath, so that's hard for me. That was too much. And then I went to pharmacy school because I felt like the cures or the working on the diseases came from the pharmaceutical companies, not understanding they were chemists in labs first. So long story short, I went back to chemistry, got my chemistry degree. I went to Philadelphia High School for girls, and that's where the 238 comes from. I'm the 238th graduating class. So when you see 238 on all my things, that's what that number is referenced to. So from there, I graduated. I went to Temple. I went to Temple's pharmacy school, School of Pharmacy. Didn't finish, realized chemistry was the route. Graduated with my chemistry degree. It was actually kind of biochemistry, honestly, from really? Delaware Valley University. It was Delaware Valley College back then. From then, during that last semester of college, I took a forensic science class. It was the first time it was introduced, and I fell in love with it. So I was so good at it that the teacher in Bucks County used to work with the police department and other agencies, and she tried to link me with them. And then we realized, okay, let's just get her in the Philadelphia Police Department. So prior to doing that, I had to wait Like I had to wait a couple years. So in doing that, right out of college, I went straight into clinical research. So I wasn't really fulfilling what I wanted to do at the time because I was in pharmacy school. They took those credits, never got a chemistry internship. So I wasn't able to be a chemist in a lab doing research. I was more on the trial side, which I learned a lot and helped me for today, but that wasn't my initial journey. Then the police department came around and they had been past the test. You just had to wait for the position. And I worked for the Philadelphia Police Department as a forensic scientist almost 7 years.
Now, before we move on, wait,
Sure.
hold it. Let's back up.
Sorry.
Police officer, forensic science. Now, I know you've seen some stuff.
I have.
And I've watched the CSIs and all that stuff. And from Flatbush, I've seen people get shot and killed in front of me. So, I mean, this is interesting. Now, take us through at least, because I love science. So take us through what happens when they call in a forensic scientist to a place that, of course, an incident took place. And whatever they call it, I know they have a terminology for it. What's the term they call it for? They call the area that you have to come to as a forensic scientist. What they call it?
The crime scene.
There it is, crime scene. So take us through, and I know we're not veering off. I'm keeping right on. I just want to make sure people understand. I love this stuff. And people are watching CSI and all that stuff. New Orleans, CSI, Chicago. People are watching. Believe me. So please talk about that. How that works.
Now, naturally, I have not been in that field since 2010, and I started back in 2004, right before CSI became big, before the new, the TV show. They did tell some secrets, but I kind of started before then. I was hands-on trained for everything. It's not as streamlined as it is now, where you have to have a master's degree and a track. Like I literally was on the ground level, which enabled me to be exposed to a lot more than probably the average person. Each state does things different. So for Philadelphia Police Department at that time, we just accepted whatever evidence came in. We really didn't work with the officers. We were civilians. We took the evidence that was received from intake. An officer would have to go down with us. Or if we had to get evidence from City Hall or get blood samples or tissue samples from the morgue, or articles from arson or fire debris is the proper name, but back then it was called arson. So, you had to go with some type of law enforcement to get the evidence if it wasn't already up in your lab or locker. And so you really didn't get to go to that part of the crime scene. Now, I had the privilege of doing that because I rose up in the ranks fast, and because this thing was still new and it was kind of ground level-ish, I was able, as a head scientist, to bridge a program with the crime scene unit, with the homicide unit, and the arson unit, because I actually ran the arson unit at one point.
Wow.
So, God blessed me to really get a lot of exposure. I was FBI trained and everything. I had to go to Quantico. I have a lot of experience and background. And then I went to the quality assurance side because of the clinical trials I did. And I helped them build the policies and procedures for ISO 17025 accreditation back then, and literally help create the policies and procedures that they have in place today. So in doing that, I got to work with the crime scene, because we would be like, why are y'all submitting so many shirts? So what they explained was, like, through a 911 call, they may hear certain things. So now they have the warrant to go to that property or that scene and pick up articles, but they only have partial information. So they may hear blue shirt. That's all they hear. So they may see 6 different types of blue shirt, one with blue and red, or one with a plaid, one light blue, one dark blue, one navy blue. So all of a sudden you open this case as a scientist and you have 6 shirts on your desk. You're like, well, what am I supposed to analyze? So we tried to go out with them to bridge a better way of trying to collect evidence as well as packaging. Because sometimes, they have to cut whatever they see or whatever that has biologicals on it for us to test. And in doing that, they got a big lamppost, they got whatever, was a part of the scene. So I tried to help bridge, and some of my counterparts bridge a program to try to make it easier for collection, packaging, as well as by the time it got up to us for analysis. So everybody doesn't get that privilege. So I did get to see, I have saw a dead body before. I have saw dead animals, gunshots, bloody evidence. But the people weren't suffering, so it was still okay for me. Like blood doesn't bother me. Biologicals doesn't bother me. It's watching people suffer. So I did have the privilege of being able to do that. Did that answer your question, any?
No, I mean, because what I know, I had a friend of mine's daughter who wanted to get into forensic science, and I believe she had to go another route also. I forgot what was the other route that she had to go, but I know that's what she had wanted to do initially, that she wanted to do. And I, because of the television, they made it so exciting and all that, but we know it's harder work behind the scene. Let's play. Let's play. Shoot. Let's not play games. So please, I know, touch on that, how hard it is, but it's definitely for those who are not faint of heart, and definitely for those that love. You gotta love what you do if you're gonna get into that.
Yeah. Like the reason why I liked it, it was still another way to help people. Although I wasn't curing sickness and disease like I am now, it was still a way to help people and help society, which is, again, just my gifting. But it wasn't easy. I mean, you have to read the cases. I worked I worked with a lot of juvenile. I had to work with the juvenile unit for sexual assaults. There's a lot that, people don't know behind the scenes. I had to testify in court as an expert witness. I never liked that part, especially for crimes or the big things on TV. So people know your name, know your face, and these big cases, you don't want people coming after you. I watch a lot of movies. And so it's not definitely to be taken lightly, but if it's something you enjoy, if it's something that you're interested in, I mean, it is to me a very fun, creative way to do science, honestly. Depending on which department. Again, each state is different because resources are different, laws are different. So because Philadelphia was so big, we got to do a little more than, say, some others. But like in Jersey, when I had moved to South Jersey, it was slightly different. Like I really even couldn't get in because they were under the state police. So the rules were totally different. The labs are run different. So just to let you know, each state has a different set of rules. So you have to decide what it is that you're interested in. Philadelphia had different units. So I was in the criminalistics unit. So we dealt trace evidence and biologicals. You had the drug unit under us. You had firearms under that. And then you had crime scene on the bottom floor at the time. So I was specifically in a criminalistics unit, and I liked that better because it gave me variety. And that's how I got to be exposed to all the things I told you. To work in the arson lab was amazing. Trace evidence. I was trained in everything except for I did not get certified in gunshot residue because by that time I had moved up the ranks. But I was fortunate to be exposed to almost everything.
Very.
Wow. Yeah. And that's powerful. Empress, you have any questions, please?
Yes. I'm good. Like your background is so different from a lot of holistic healers, and I'm curious as to how your background has also impact how you heal people. Like how do you incorporate some of your training from before and your past experience into what you do now?
So what I say to myself is God doesn't waste anything, no part of my journey. And honestly, it wasn't until now that I understood why I did everything that I had to go through, even the pharmacy school, because that didn't make sense to me. I even did nursing school for a couple months. That didn't make sense to me. I was still trying to find my way. I had gotten pregnant and married young. I was met my ex-husband at 21. I was pregnant and married. I was married by 22 and pregnant. So I like did some adjustments along the way, and none of that was wasted. So now what I do in the health and wellness realm, all the lab experience I had gave me what I do now. So, and then part of that journey too, which we'll get into when we get to the health portion, I ended up getting well after 10 years of illness and started working at the medical marijuana dispensary. Well, that's where all the forensic training came in at, all the lab training came in at. It helped me be able to do the production that I did at the dispensary. And then the dispensary experience, along with my management experience, gave me the totality to be able to do what I do now. So I technically could run a lab if I wanted to.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, yeah, and so now I take that same skill, that same access, and put it into what I do now. So it really did help it. It almost like it's prepared me, even like you said, it's so different, but it's not. It's connected.
Okay. People, we're at the bottom of the hour. We have our special guest with us, Marcia M. Moore. Of course, she's a natural healing advocate. She's waving like it's a supermodel thing. Go ahead, girl. Entrepreneur, chemist, author, poet. Of course, she went down the forensic science route one time. Owner and of EataCure and KaribbeanKraze. Make sure you show us some love by, of course, hitting her up by email if you want to find out more information about what she does, how she do, and why she does, consultations and all that kind of stuff. IG EataCure, IG KaribbeanKraze, and of course, spread love via the Cash App. That's $Marcia 238. And don't forget, this is her website also. That's www.KaribbeanKraze.com. That's KaribbeanKraze.com. You know, Marcia, let's go into the health, because there's something that you have suffered with for many years. You told me some of the story privately, but I know I heard you on another show on IG recently, and you was going in. Let's start with what happened to Marcia to help her to go towards the holistic route, the natural healing advocate that she's become, and entrepreneur of EataCure, and of course the workout, KaribbeanKraze, the things that you're doing also. Please, let's start with that journey. Go ahead, my sister.
So as a forensic scientist, around 2007, I had injured my neck. And through the years, I guess, after injuring it, I went out of work, went back, got well. I just think the looking over evidence, bending in a microscope, typing, eventually my disc ruptured in my neck. So in 2010, my disc ruptured and it took me out of work. So when it took me out of work, I was actually paralyzed on one side of my body.
Wow.
Through time, I got a little better and learned to, walk again and things like that. Then, believe it or not, that's when I published the poetry books. And then by 2013 is when they noticed that I kept getting we call them flares in the medical community for those that suffer with autoimmune issues. But I kept having exacerbations, meaning I was okay, but then the chronic pain wouldn't go away and the inflammation would get so bad that it would force me not to be able to use my limbs. So in the beginning, I struggled with that so much that they realized it wasn't just from the ruptured disc in my neck. So by 2013, I got diagnosed with mixed connective tissue disorder, unspecified, because at the time they still didn't know what it was. Some of my tests would come out normal, some wouldn't, which is very common with autoimmune conditions. And it was the trauma to my neck that set off the autoimmune based on the inflammation that got built up. So through that time, I'm back and forth bedridden, literally weeks at a time, months at a time, hospitalized quite often. I mean, multiple times a year. And the issue with autoimmune, when you're not exacerbated or flared up, you're kind of normal like I am now. So I would be normal, and then all of a sudden I couldn't walk, like you would have thought I had a stroke.
Wow.
So it's very debilitating, very hurt. It was a hurtful process because you getting tested, I got poked and prodded like a guinea pig, and you still didn't have answers. And this is for years. I'm not talking about one or two. Now, meanwhile, I'm bedridden to the point where it took me 3 years for even to get a home health aide to get help.
What?
My children were only like 6 and 9 at the time. I had 3 boys and 2 bonus sons. My 3 sons were living with me at that time because I had gotten divorced, and they had to dress me. It got so bad at one point, my ex-husband had to come and help. Like, that's how bad it was. So in that, it was a rough process. Chronic pain, 17 pills 3 times a day. It was just no quality of life.
Yeah.
Even in the good days, living with chronic pain is not easy. And for me, as most people, as you see me, Simon, I'm bubbly like Simon. I'm a jovial person, just peaceful, happy a lot of times. So, and then I pushed past all of that. So I still gave you that. And it wasn't that it was fake. It was just living in hope and light. You know, I learned to be grateful for the small things. If it was nothing but breath in my lungs for that day, I was grateful, you know. So it kept me to be able to endure that long storm. It was a long valley, but to be able to walk and not walk, or not walk and then turn around and run or dance, you know, people didn't believe me. They thought I was making it up. Ridicule. You got doctors asking you, is it in your head? Are you, you know, are you under any stress, mental? Now, I'll be honest, stress is a very big um, igniter of your exacerbations, but it was almost like, you know, you went through the journey feeling like it's something really wrong with you. So it wasn't easy. But through that, my neurologist at the time asked me, was I open to some alternative natural things? So he put me on medical marijuana at the time, medical cannabis. And then from there, as a chemist, I just like to learn. So to me, cannabis, I had to learn it was just an herb. So when I learned that it was just an herb from the land, plant from the earth, I started to study other plants too. So it wasn't just cannabis, but that the cannabis helped me come off all those medications. It helped my chronic pain. It took down my inflammation. Uh, After bedridden in and out for years, I still was on a walker and cane for almost 4 years. And every time I had a flare, I had to re-walk again. So this happened monthly. You didn't know whether the flare was hours, days, or weeks. It really varied over this 10-year period that I was sick.
Wow.
So it was not an easy journey, but in that, it forced me to learn how to take what I needed for my body. Somewhere along that, maybe 2014, 2015, because after with the MS, I started to develop fibromyalgia, and then that dovetailed into the lupus. So I end up having both. That's why they said mixed connective tissue unspecified, because I had more than one. In my later years, the MS kind of went away some, and more of the lupus symptoms started to arise. That's why I have on purple for Lupus Awareness Month, which is May. And I started to, now with the lupus, it made me be more in tune to the body, because with the lupus flares, you could control it almost by what you ate. So when I realized that, that's what dovetailed into my natural wellness journey. I'm already studying cannabis. I'm already studying other natural herbs. My family's from the islands. So in those islands, we had great roster friends and close people to us that would send herbs home when my mom would go visit, to bring back, send this for Marcy, please give her this, give her that. So a lot of anti-inflammatory things from the mountains, you know, naturally, like your turmerics. And that time I was taking like moringa, I was taking vervain, I was taking different herbs, like vervain is for your nerves. You know, moringa is like a superfood, so detoxifier as well. So they were trying to help get the inflammation out of my body, and then teaching me. So once they started that, that's what made me dovetail to study myself. I always love to learn. And as a chemist, you know, I definitely like to learn. And I loved, and like you said, that background, how did that come to now? Oh, with EataCure, it's just a chemistry lab with food. That's the best of the best, because I love food, Aisha. So when you ask me, how does that correlate? It's just chemistry and food. So I took that, I learned what herbs worked for my body, and I started to get better. You know, I still would have some flares, but they might have cut back to once a year, twice a year. Even the hospital stays, They went from 4 days to maybe just 1 day, or 1 day to maybe just an ER visit, but it's forever before me. So it's humbling, it's humbling. I never feel on my greatest day or my best dance that, tomorrow or that next minute, I still, I maybe can't walk out of there. I literally got hospitalized a week or two ago, literally out of nowhere, a pain in my back. And in minutes, I couldn't walk.
Wow.
So my son wheeled me in, but I have a strong spiritual background in faith, and, through prayer and a good support system, I still don't know what the cause is for me. I'm heavy in my spiritual. I believe it was spiritual. And in that, by the time I left the hospital, I did not have to stay overnight. I left walking and I left driving home. So, I thank God for that grace, but I also do my part. I had to learn, especially for lupus, to keep the inflammation down, keep your body more alkaline, above pH 7 level. So there's specific foods, there's specific flowers, spices, herbs, fruits that can keep that. And you have to find out what that is for your body, because blood types also dictate how your body is. So there's different foods for different people and different journeys. So I created EataCure in my wellness journey to try to help others. And what I love about the name is just what it sounds, Eat a Cure. But what people don't realize, it's not just about eating food, physical food. What you eat is what you take in. So I teach people eating is mental, emotional, and physical. So that's where Dragonfly still ties in. KaribbeanKraze is the physical dance portion. EataCure, and not only Dragonfly is just poetry, I'm also a motivational speaker. So, I've always been a source of inspiration and light my whole life, and always had leadership qualities. So I've always had some type of platform in some way, shape, or form. They used to call me the neutralizer. I was the one that could either bring everybody together or calm everybody out. So, so in doing that now, I just take that and move it over to this now. But what to me, God showed me was what I wanted to do from a child, I'm doing now. And I'm doing it naturally, which is a level I would have never thought to do. So here I wanted to be a chemist in a lab, mixing some stuff together. And he's saying, you're doing it, but you're doing it with the fruit of the earth that I told you to subdue. So it's fulfilling, and it keeps me well. I'm accountable this way too, because when I don't eat well, I feel it. The flare could have came because I'm not gonna lie, I cheated for 3 weeks. I didn't eat right. For you have to be disciplined and strict. Like no dairy for me. Like dairy is instant mucus. Mucus is inflammation.
Yes.
When you have inflammation, you have sickness and disease. You rid the inflammation, there's no sickness and disease in your body.
Right.
So I had to learn that. And for me, I even had to go even more. No meat. I haven't had meat in probably 6.5 years now. Now I do incorporate some fish now and again. But I want to get back to, honestly, for me, I really need to be vegan. It's a little hard for me with all I do, especially the heavy dancing that I do. KaribbeanKraze is the dance fitness portion. And I did that because when I had to walk again, I would go to therapy, and, I met some nice friends at the gym and they taught the classes. So I would want to do these classes. Like I would love it and watch it. So one of my friends was like, well, I can probably slow the moves down and do it in the warm water, because with fibromyalgia, you have temperature issues and all of that. So I couldn't even go in a regular pool. I had to be in the warm water therapy pool. But the therapy pool was how I was able to walk again. So once I got well, KaribbeanKraze started in the water because it was easier on your joints. At the time, my body temperature couldn't handle, everything. Then I got stronger and better, moved over, watching my friends and then learning it myself. Because my dad's from the Caribbean, I can naturally dance a little bit, and I love music. Music speaks to the soul. I've always loved music. And then God gave me the vision to say, you can not only help people live well physically, because the saying, a body in motion stays in motion, And that's especially true for lupus because you'll get stiff joints. Your body will lock up. You'll get stiffness from the inflammation settling in the joints. And with mixed connective tissue disorder, that is an autoimmune issue of your joints. So my joints specifically get affected, which is what causes my temporary paralysis at times.
Yeah. Those that are just tuning in, we are speaking with MARCIA Core. Make sure you check her out. She has a natural healing advocate, entrepreneur, chemist, author, poet, owner of EataCure and KaribbeanKraze. And of course, you got to hit up on an email for if you want to do any counseling. That's marcia238@gmail.com. IG, hit her up on IG. She does answer her IG, and that's at EataCure, and of course at KaribbeanKraze. And don't forget, spread that love via Cash App. That's $Marcia238. And of course, don't forget her website. Very beautiful website. As I'm looking through it in the background. So if y'all see me looking all kind of conscious and looking like I'm really concentrated, I'm looking at her website at the same time.
I'm looking.
Thank you.
But me see you fling them some wine up in Jamaica on your IG. So you fling some wine in some studio, and I do some dancing, and like there was somebody that was guiding y'all, or you was guiding them, or something. But I know. And now tell us about from the dietary, of course, work discipline to the dancing discipline. I know that works hand in hand, and yes, how important, because I know you said sometimes you go through the debilitating pains and excruciating pains at certain time. How is that dancing also helping to maintain your strength while you're doing all this and going through all of this, please?
Yes, so a body in motion stays in motion. So I try to do some form of movement, no matter what. It doesn't matter what part or how limited my mobility can be. And that process helped me with KaribbeanKraze. So in that process, I have certifications. I'm a certified in group fitness for land and water. I have yoga certifications. I have parkour fit certification and a few others. So what that did was it enabled me to learn and teach on any level. And because I learned at every level, because I would get sick, 1 minute could do everything, and then the next minute could barely do anything. It forced me to create this program so that I could be successful to still move, whether I was bedridden that day or not. Because if I'm bedridden from pain, sometimes it was bedridden from just chronic pain, and sometimes it was from literal paralysis, muscle paralysis. So if it was from just chronic pain, then I would just limit what I would do. So, they have chair yoga now. They have, low impact exercises. You have different things where you could still utilize your limbs so that they don't get stuck. The key is so that they don't lock up, because even with autoimmune issues, it's almost like arthritis. So and actually when I was sick, my hand was locked up like this. Like people didn't know, I played it off, but with that paralysis, I had muscle spasticity. That's what it's called. And it kept it locked up because it was so overactive with the nerves and the damage.
Wait, Marcia, how did you play it off? I mean, how could you look like this? I gotta stand up for you. I don't know. I don't grab, how you play it off?
It was more just a light, meaning like, so my arm stayed like this. So you don't know because I'm talking like this.
Okay.
But it stayed that way. You didn't know that.
Okay, yeah. I'm here like what?
No, it wasn't like this. Yeah.
The claw.
A lock. It was more like my arm was locked. Okay. So for you just thought it was hanging like that on purpose.
Okay.
That it was literally locked like that. People really didn't know.
Okay. So you're a chameleon. Okay, you know how to make it. You know how to make this thing rock.
Listen, I am so adaptable. I'm gonna tell you, my journey made me very adaptable and very versatile.
Well, Marcia, you're a water sign, and like Bruce Lee used to say, "Be water," because water becomes everything.
Pisces flow.
Flow.
Hey, go ahead, Empress. You got a question? Please share your question.
My heart, everything is going out to you like right now. Like I'm feeling this, and I'm just feeling your courageousness and your strength. And this is so. your story, I've never heard anything like it before.
Wow.
And I'm just really, like my heart just goes out to you. Like I don't know how to feel right now.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little emotional inside.
Oh.
um, but how is it with your children? Like, how is it? Has it, as a mother, like how has that
It was hard.
strengthened them and
It
made
was
you
hard. It was hard. Not to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
It was hard. The journey was not easy, but I feel like, everybody has a certain path in life. Everybody has a certain destiny to fulfill. We're all here created for a purpose. And I believe that the processing was necessary for them. I was divorced, so I kind of raised them on my own, honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a great support system, and their father is in their life, but I was pretty much still the brunt and weight on me. So imagine that while you're sick and incapacitated. It's not easy. And then I already told you there were times where they had to dress me, so it forced them to grow up fast. They were young men, so they felt like even as boys want to protect their moms. It was hard. I couldn't be there for them as much as I wanted to, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm a fighter. So when my kids started football, I was on that football field with my walker. This is what I'm saying, because I was incapacitated like that for 4 years. So you're talking about bedridden for 7, and in that 10-year period, still almost 4 years, still walking on a cane and a walker. So they'll tell you, I was at them football games with a walker. The pain was rough. That chronic pain, it affects your brain after a while. So it wasn't easy, but it forced them. Now, I always kind of grew them up a little mature and prepared them, especially working in forensic science. I saw so much that I needed them prepared. So I had to prepare them for the world early. So I talked to them a lot. I didn't baby my kids. I was very rational and open with them, very informative with them. So that helps some. And then because we're, how my family is, they already learned how to cook young, clean young, wash clothes young. So some of that was already naturally shown to them prior, but it did make them the men that they are today. My twins are 18. My oldest is 22. And then they have two brothers, that bonus sons that I helped raise as well. And I just watched their journey. I mean, and naturally it caused some issues. Like we had to go to counseling and things like that because they bear burdens that they were kind of too young to bear. Honestly, just being real. It's not
easy. What's so beautiful about that is that if they do run into a woman like yourself, they'll be more empathetic.
Absolutely.
And compassionate. And even if they marry a wife that goes through that, because you do run into women that have lupus or sickle cell, and that can be very excruciating, have a lot of excruciating effects. And, I remember one time my grandmother, who I've known her to walk so strong and walk so strongly as a nurse and an RN and a midwife throughout many years, watching her. But when she fell and had damaged her knee, her hip, she could not, slipped on ice in America, could not do what she wanted to do. So I've seen her go from one stage to another. We used to have to go and get things for her and massage her feet, me, my cousin and I, and all that. So we had to do a lot of stuff for our grandmother. May she rest in peace. She'll be celebrating 104 years on June 21st, June 22nd. So yeah, we had to be a little concerned, and we had to be loving, and we had to get in and bring her the tea. And if she wants her Milo, she get her Milo. If she wants her this, and she wants her tea, and you got to butter her bread right, all kind of things. But that's what we had to learn as young. We was young, picking up on this. So I remember that and I know, as not, of course, excruciating as lupus, because that's like full body. That's like all over. But I know that the pain when you have to deal with women that's been so strong and they've been taking care of you so long, it is sometimes men or children, little boys, we gotta learn to be men at certain times and learn to be grown up. But you're right, it does take a psychological toll, because it did take a psychological toll on me. But I also became a massage therapist at one point because she said I had good hands. I haven't used it yet. I've used it enough time back in the day, but now my hands are still good. And I tell people, I said, look, man, I know I still got it because I dream about my hands being good. So I know what it is. I just don't want to apply it the way I used to, because I was making money. I'd rather just heal, and it was still helpful. But, moving forward now that you're still.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, let me just finish this off.
Okay.
Because I'm in thought. So moving forward with that same thing, dealing with the lupus, what do you have to say to young ladies out there that might feel up and they don't want to deal in relationships, or they don't want to express themselves because of this lupus, this disease that people are going, or they call it dis-ease, but I wish we could put a positive spin on it, but it's hard to just put it. But so what would you say to the young people that's watching right now and that's going through it, and women in general and even men, because there's men that go through it also? What would you say to them right now?
In terms of, because I wasn't sure quite what your question was. You said
because a lot of them are giving up or thinking about giving up, all that kind of stuff. So they're out there. They're out there that's in pain, and they're suffering by themselves.
Oh, yes. Okay. So my suggestion would be to try to plug yourself into some type of support group, support system. I was very grateful. I have a very good, strong support system. I have a very big family, a very close-knit family. I have good, strong, positive friends in my life. And everybody isn't blessed with that. And I'm aware of that. I'm very, very conscious of what's around me. So for those that don't, thank God we do have technology today. We do have social media today. What I try to tell people is you have to fight for your own life. Nobody's going to do it for you. So you have to want it. You got to want to be well. You got to want to be better. You have to put positive things into your mind. That's why EataCure is not just physical food. You have to feed yourself positivity, because if you don't, there's no hope. There's no light. When there's no hope and no light, then that's where you have what you're saying, Simon, where you want to give up. Mm-hmm. So my suggestion is, if you don't have that support system, or you don't have the insurance or money, or can't even get the help because the system is broken, I'm going to be honest with you. So if you don't have the drive to fight, you have your phone. People are on their phones all day. Google something. Find someone, something to link to get the biggest thing I tell people: educate yourself. Mm-hmm. It's the education that got me to be free and whole. If that neurologist did not tell me, to open my mind to an alternative, I wouldn't be where I am today. Wow. And honestly, when people are that ill or that sick and suffering that long, you're kind of willing to try anything at that point anyway, because you're just tired of suffering. So my suggestion would be research, get yourself a support system, get yourself something and educate so that you know what you need for your body, and then put positive things, affirmations. Think about when you weren't sick. Think about if you were not sick, what you would have done. And you're going to have to play this over, because the negativity is constantly facing you because you're physically suffering. Then with that physical suffering, especially with lupus, you're going to have emotional suffering because of the back and forth. You're going to have mental suffering because of the test coming out one way, or they tell you it's one way 1 minute and then it changes because it pops in and then pops out. And it's a rough roller coaster ride. So you really have to be intentional. So thank God for things like this, platforms like what you have, resources, organizations. It's Lupus Awareness Month. It's a lot out here. So if you really want to be well, you have to find that glimmer of hope to keep you holding on. And once you do that, I've learned to turn my pain into a powerful, positive purpose. Mm-hmm. And here it was what I should have been doing all along. Mm-hmm. It took me back to the 11, 12-year-old girl that wanted to heal people of sickness and disease. And now I'm doing it in a fun way. I'm doing it in a way that can also be preventative as well as restorative. So God restored me all the way around, as well as helping me physically heal my body.
Go ahead, sister, please, Empress.
Okay. I gotta compliment you. You look good.
Thank you. 45.
You look good. You look, yes. To go
And
through all that
is on me. I know that.
you look really, really good. I just want you to know that, right, King Simon?
Oh yes.
You know, some people go through so much, especially like with the things that you went through. The stress, the stress alone.
Very true.
Just, would just you would it would just be all over them. You could just see it.
Right.
And, you don't look like you lived that hard knock life, but
surrenderance to the process, surrenderance to whatever your higher power is. Mine is, I'm Christian, so it's whatever you need to grab onto.
Yeah.
And again, feed yourself that positivity, whatever that looks like for you. That is what really keeps me going. And when I learned to do that surrenderance piece instead of trying to figure it out, because I kind of was a little control freak growing up, just because I was, I'm analytical as a scientist. So things had to be like in order. I wasn't militant, but
you got to be in order.
when I couldn't figure it out, it would kind of like frazzle me, because maybe that's the artistic side that now later I understand.
Okay.
So, and not just that, the average person, when you can't control your environment, it makes it not easy to function, especially for people that operate out of fear or, and it was scary because you didn't know, like, these things were so debilitating. I didn't know if I was going to die, because the paralysis, they still had to check me. They still had to make sure it wasn't a stroke. Even with the lupus flare-ups, it's a burning sensation from head to toe. For those that exercise, if you ever, exercise too much or do a pre-workout and later your muscles are sore 2 days later, well, if you ever did too much at one time and the next day it burns so bad that it almost like hurt. And then where it would normally go away the third or fourth day, it didn't. It would continue 4 or 5 days. That's the lupus flare. So it literally feels like your body is on fire from the inside out. It's coupled with chronic fatigue, and it's very debilitating. And there were times where the inflammation got so bad, it would close up my lungs. That's where I had to change my actual physical food diet, because I had to control the excess inflammation, because you also get inflammation from external factors like the environment. When the weather changes, that affects your body. So you really have to learn. That's why I said education is key. So if you're diagnosed with anything, like Simon said, dis-ease, your body is unease. So you need to find out what to put your body back in a peaceful state, a homeostasis state, an even leveled state.
Empress, do you have a question?
I wanted to say real quickly that to your sons, that they're, what they went through is definitely wasn't easy, but they definitely need to see themselves as heroes. Like they are heroes, and to be a hero, you're going to go through things. You're going to see, you've got to see people hurting in order to be a hero. You got to see where the rescue is needed, where there's, where you are as a saver. So they are like savers, they're true heroes, and they need to know that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just like
they can receive that too. I really think they can receive that, because they understand the journey, but to give them the way you just presented it, I really think that's going to help them. Thank you for that.
Yeah. That's what Spirit is telling me, that they're heroes, and that, what they went through is not a burden. It's something that they needed to go through to level them up to be who the men that they already are and who they're going to perceive to be.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I truly do.
So I really hope that they acknowledge that they are heroes. There's no Superman, there's no Black Panther that didn't go through something.
Facts.
Wow.
Thank you for that perspective. Wow.
You're welcome.
Yep.
From your mom.
That means a lot. Like it's resonating to me. It's really speaking to me. So thank you. Thank you for that obedience. Yeah. Yeah.
Those that are just tuning in, we're speaking with Marcia M. Moore, and she's a great guest so far, and of course, natural healing advocate, entrepreneur, chemist, author, poet, owner, mommy. I mean, she's owner of EataCure and KaribbeanKraze. Now, I wanted to go into the poetry a little because it's something that struck me in reading your book and reading the poetry because we men and women think diametrically different than each other, and we sometimes we look at things another way. That's why we got to learn to respect the balance of each other, because you might see it one way, he might see another way, and then y'all find a way. That's how it works. Yeah. So, but on page 37, you speak about misled. I wish to read it, or you want to read it. That's up to you.
No, you can read it. You can, because I actually don't have it in front of me. So
okay. It's coming from this book family. Marcia's Poem from the Heart. You can get it on Amazon. You can get all her books on Amazon also. Is it under Marcia Moore or Harvey? It's still under Harvey?
They're all under Harvey. The physical books are under Harvey. The audio CDs are under Moore or Dragonfly.
Okay, great. So this one is called Misled. It says, I thought it was different. I had to be misled. He seemed to be unique. I must have misread. The hour has struck. What was is now gone. What's done is done. We have to move on. We went too far. Our sunny days are wet. Yet nothing has changed since we first met. Interesting. Now, from when you wrote this, page 37, what were you thinking about, and what was this all about from what you was going through at that time?
So the thing about Dragonfly is particularly me, because it brings deep services to light. Most of the poems have dual meanings, dual meanings. And for me at that time, I was probably in my late teens, and I was dating a gentleman that I had liked. And I believe at the time, because I don't want to quote the exact experience, but what that poem was a perception thing for me. So honestly, that is probably the modern day situationship.
Right.
Honestly, thinking back. So, but that was written, I probably might have been around 19. When I wrote that, maybe even younger, sad to say.
Wow.
The thing is the perception of, I was misled because I believed the relationship to be one way, and it ended up being another way. And I say that because, as you read, it didn't really end because nothing had changed from when we first met.
Right.
So that's why I equated to that was probably most equivalent to the modern day situationship, but that was written a long time ago.
No, because I
answer your question.
Yeah, I mean, it took me elsewhere because of the misled, and especially in a relationship and all of that. So it did. I seen it from that angle, and how people can be disappointed.
Yeah.
In a relationship, and I know, as a empath as you are, being empath is sometimes healing, but also can be hurtful.
Very hurtful, especially when you don't understand your gift or learn how to operate in it. You, attract, I don't want to say brokenness, but people that are in a hurt state. Yes. And your heart and your goal is to want to heal and help. So it draws a certain energy of people. If your gift isn't refined, or if you're not healthy or healed enough to see how much you're supposed to engage, or the level that you need to engage. And I'm gonna be honest, that's a lifelong journey. I still haven't gotten it right. Me and Simon talked about that the other day, but where you grow, you learn through each experience, through each evolution of yourself and elevation of yourself. So, you learn what seeds to plant, what seeds to water, leave my increase to God. But at that time, it was any man that I saw that I thought had a good heart. And because of an empath, you kind of almost have some, for me, I would say prophetic seeing, where you can see through to the person of who they could be and are. But I had to learn that you can't fall in love with potential.
Mm.
You know,
That's true.
it's
Yeah,
sad
well,
to say, because as an empath, you see everyone's potential.
Mhm.
that's
And
right.
it's not even that it's not real, it's there, but it's up to them to materialize it and actualize it. And that's their journey. That's nothing that you can do.
That's right. That's why Les Brown always said you have to believe in the people that believe in you until your belief kick in.
Yeah. I had to
And
learn that was a hurtful journey.
some people don't believe, you know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people go into their grave with their talents and their gifts.
Mhm.
Now go ahead, Empress. You got your question? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, I do. But before I do, I'm curious as to why did you pick that poem to ask about? Like, I'm curious, how did it touch you,
Who did me?
Simon? Yes.
Well, I did say it was a relationship poem, and it touched me because I see it as a relationship poem because I've
Yeah, it was a
seen
relationship.
that thing. I've seen it happen in my life, and it's relatable. That's why I
Relationship.
chose that
I
poem.
can relate to that too.
And it's on page 37, and 3 plus 7 equals 10, which is a 1, and I'm a number 1. So I keep I keep it moving mathematically.
Yes, you do.
Okay, math is the autobiography, God's autobiography. So book of numbers. So yeah,
My
so go ahead.
question is about the dancing.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Yes, because I see that your dancing is fun. It's like
it
you
is.
you got the pole dancing going on. Like that is
Yeah.
fun. You got the twerking going on. I'm not sure what the Caribbean craze is. And
So
then
that is actually mine. KaribbeanKraze is mine. I actually work at Exhibit A Studio in Philadelphia.
mm-hmm,
Um, and with that, they have that's our Saturday live DJ lineup.
mm-hmm,
So the owner, the manager does the pole class first, then it's my class. So KaribbeanKraze is similar to Zumba, but it's not quite Zumba.
okay.
So I teach that in a way to, number one, God showed me to preserve the culture. So I teach Caribbean dances from all over the world, including Afro beats, and I make it in a fun way. Or for those that want to dance and really can't dance, I break it down into simple exercises so that you can feel like you're dancing as well. So whether you're preparing for a party, whether you're preparing for a wedding,
Yeah.
whether you're on a cruise or in the islands, or just want to, build yourself. Some people, here's
Mm-hmm.
the thing about exercise, you have to find what speaks to you, what's going to
Hmm.
get you motivated to do it. I love to dance and I love music. So for me, it was a perfect combination. And then to help others, now I can teach it to you. So,
Now, what was happening here? What was happening here?
so these wonderful gentlemen, I have the privilege of working with some Jamaican dancers. So when I go to Jamaica, I link up with a couple guys from
Okay.
different dance groups. They're professional dancers. Some
Hmm.
work for hotels. Some of them now dance for the professional videos of your hottest dance hall artists out today.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
they bridge with me to help teach me some of the native dances. And then I bring it back to America and teach it to my class.
Oh,
So
Wow.
this was an actual song that, unfortunately, we still didn't even finish this one yet. But this particular song is actually
Mhm.
KaribbeanKraze's theme song for season 2.
Oh,
Caribbean
really?
Crazy Cure started in 2018, but they didn't launch till 2019. So each season I have like a theme song that's our theme for the whole year or whole season. So this song it goes to a song called City Lock. And basically it was saying you have the city on lock and you get love from everybody. And my
Okay.
basis for everything is about love. I always try to spread love in some way, shape, or form. So that is
Mm.
them teaching me the choreography
Okay.
before we got to finish. We didn't get to finish the professional finished video yet.
Okay. Wow.
But this
I
is
didn't
an
want to put.
example of what I would have done in class. Hmm.
Okay. I didn't want to put everything on there because I know you got some stuff going on, and I want to make sure.
It's fine, but
And
whatever
I would,
is public, so it's okay.
yeah, I wouldn't put the music on because I know the
Oh
YouTube
yes,
would flag it real quick. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
So
very true, very true, very
Yes.
true. Yes. Did we lose Simon?
That was fun. I love that. I love the fact that. What about the heels one?
So Hill, so there's what's interesting is what you're seeing is from the whole studio perspective.
Okay.
So you're seeing separate classes in the studio, but what you're really seeing is a projection of KaribbeanKraze is going to have each of those classes.
Oh, okay.
So there's a pole craze, there's a heel craze, there's a gold craze for your older people. So as the program builds, I already have it mapped out that all of those classes that you see, those are just different forms of exercise. So you see what piqued your interest already. So it's just a matter of giving someone a service that's open enough that whatever will grab their attention. I'm just trying to get you moving. Really, all of that is just to keep you moving.
To get you moving.
But if I can do it in a fun way, if I can do it in a way that you feel sexy or whatever speaks to what you need at that time, especially coming from being sick, you don't feel pretty. You don't feel handsome. You don't feel beautiful. You don't feel manly. You don't feel strong. So this helps bring that back.
Yeah.
So it's really intentional. What I do is intentional.
Yes.
And I try to help heal and repair from the internal soul level out.
Now that's how you.
So I play positive music. I encourage because I'm a natural encourager and exhorter. I educate you. I'm also preserving the Caribbean culture.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I go to Jamaica so I can learn from the hub. I still have to I did learn from a dance school in Kingston. And I'm going to try to really link with them to really go because that's the dance hub. That's where dance hall originated, in the 80s. So it's an honor to go back there. And then my goal is to really go around the world.
No, that's an honorable goal. Little Goddess asks, do you offer or sponsor a support group online for people who are going through difficult times and would like to talk and gain support from people going through the same thing?
So I don't at this time yet. EataCure will build to do that. But, if you look on my pages, especially with these last set of interviews I've been purposefully doing that during Lupus Awareness Month to link you with the people that I have been doing interviews with, because those are the support groups and organizations. So I Am Royal Love is one. There's some others, counselor. Try to find a counselor or some type of counseling group, but to research online. But at this time, I have not started one yet, but it is in the works. It is our goal. Absolutely. And then I do give free 10-minute consultations just to find out where people are, what they're looking for, and the goals they're trying to reach. And I do that for KaribbeanKraze and EataCure.
And you also have products too. So tell them about your products and all of that.
I do through EataCure. So the part that I didn't get to finish in my story is I started to eat well and do well, was doing pretty good. And then unfortunately went to work at the dispensary, learned a lot. I was there 6 months and all of a sudden looked like I contracted like pancreatitis or something. And then they said I didn't have it. So here we go again. Some autoimmune exacerbation or flare up took me back out of work. And I was mad at God. I said, God, I was healed after 10 years. I thought I was going to be sick forever. You heal me just to turn around, heal me for almost 3 years. I'm talking about 3 years, no sickness, no flares, no medication, nothing. To come back and be debilitated again, that was a rough journey too. But here, when you learn or realize that you have a purpose greater than yourself, for me, I say my life is not my own. I had to go through it because that's when it got birthed. That's when KaribbeanKraze and EataCure got birthed. So if that didn't happen, it would have never got birthed. And at that point, I realized I was never to go back into a regular workforce. So last year, I acquired CMOS. Now I knew a CMOS. My dad's from the islands, but I didn't take it on a regular basis. I was actually supporting a friend of mine And in doing it, I noticed I started to feel better. So I started to take it every day. So I started April 1st, 2020. By June 1st, 2020, I no longer needed my IVIG infusions. In the process of the health journey, I came off all my physical pills, but I had to get, I used to get, and I didn't tell you this part, Aisha, 4-hour infusions pumped into my chest every 14 days. And that was for a year. And then I was fine for 3 years, and it came back, and I had to do it again for a year and a half. So it was almost like it's one step under chemo, honestly. So IVIG is immunoglobulin G. So it's an autoimmune medication that I need that's often used for lupus. So that was every 14 days for a year and a half. April 1st, 2020, I started CMOS consistently. By June 2020, I no longer needed a treatment. I have not had a treatment since.
Wow.
So from there, my family started to see that. They started to see some weight loss. They started to see more energy. They just saw like a little change in me. So they started to try it. I had one family member had diabetes. For those that don't know, A1C is your blood test that tests for the level of diabetes to see if you would have it. Anything over, I think, 7 is considered diabetic. They really want you around 6.5 if you can. So hers was at 9.4. She started CMOS May 1st. By July, her A1C, June, July, August, by her next test, within 90 days, it came down to 7.2. So we started to see the health benefits. And then remember, I told you I had studied them herbs previously, years ago when I was getting well. So now I took that and I upped it up a notch. So now EataCure now serves up to 25 herbs. I think it's even more than 25 that I've learned to blend that are natural for your body. Blend it with the CMOS. I do it different ways as the gel and as a juice, 100% juice, because for my boys, I had to make it palatable for them. I had to make it, they're not health nuts like me, so they're not on the health journey. They try to be a little conscious, but not like me. So I had to make it and present it in a way that could taste good, be good, or something simple on the go. So I literally made them juice shots, and I saw the difference in them. They saw the difference in their performance. They're young guys. They like to lift weights. They like to play basketball. They work hard. So they're good guys. So, they noticed the help. So I just realized, hey, we might as well start helping the world. And that's what I did. So we do CMOS juices, CMOS gel, because of the CBD that also is a good anti-inflammatory. I started to incorporate that in foods. So I also make plant-based cookies because I can't eat everything. So I serve you how I live. And that's the key. As well as I cook with love and flavor. And I present it in a way that people didn't even know it was plant-based. That's how good they were. So I present that. So we also do massage oils and cooking oils. So I teach you how to incorporate it into everything you do. I don't eat meat. I don't eat dairy if I can help it. I do cheat sometimes, which is not good. But if I don't do dairy, CMOS is a substitute. It can be an egg substitute. It's a filler. It's a thickener for gravy. You can use it for icing. It's for hair, skin, nails, You can make a mask. So I literally have learned to incorporate it in everything. And I try to make as many products as I can to provide a service to whoever needs it. Even those that can't take it. For those that are familiar with CMOS, the proper genus name is Chondrus crispus. That for those that can't, because they have either an iodine allergy or a thyroid issue, those are the two stipulations that it's not recommended. I found ways to still ingest it, just not edibly, where it doesn't cause them a reaction. You can make it as a mask. You can use the CMOS water to rinse your hair, as long as you get some form, because it's just dense in minerals. And I just feel like it's a super vitamin. We know that it's plant-based or vegan. It's seaweed from the ocean. And it's a way to me to just level out. I'm plant-based. I eat vegetables all day long, but I still don't give myself all the minerals that I need. I feel like the CMOS supplemented that. I have not needed a treatment since June 2020. We are getting ready to come on a year. It's the end of May. So I live it. I live this thing.
That's right. That's right.
And the herbs help too. Like I said, I use all different kinds of herbs. Right now you have allergy season. So elderberries for immunity, morning powder for your lungs. Like I just learned to incorporate as many natural things as possible. He gave us the earth to subdue and all the plants and the herbs to take. So why not utilize it?
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Those that are just tuning in, family, we are speaking with Marcia and more guests. Our guest, of course, natural healing advocate, entrepreneur, chemist, author, poet, owner of EataCure and KaribbeanKraze. Make sure you show us some love, family. Make sure you show us some love. That's that $ cat Marcia 238, of course. And what's so interesting, make sure you go to our IG, that's KaribbeanKraze, and also go to EataCure. And if you want to email her for consultation and all that, you can give her email, hit her up or send her email at marcia238@gmail.com. Empress, you have a question, a last question before we let out the beautiful sister go, and I'll go ahead, please.
Yes, I want to ask about the poetry. What is your favorite poem? Would you recite one for us?
I can. This poem. So this poem, believe it or not, is how I even met Simon. Because
really?
Well, this is the poem I did on the live, and the reason why I picked that poem, it was number one, a pivotal moment in my life. Number two, it speaks to the epitome of me. So because everything I do comes from the basis of love, and the part of Dragonfly teaching people dual meaning. So whatever level you can receive and see and look at, that's what you'll be able to take from it. But if I can teach you what love really is, then I've done the greatest service that I can do. So I know it's a repeat, but I really think it speaks volumes. And I'll give you the other meaning behind it, which is where you'll see, because it really was about a relationship in the beginning. It was about a gentleman that I desired to care for and love, and he wasn't ready or able for whatever reason. So I said, well, how can I show him, or how can I tell him, And honestly, a lot of my poetry, when it came to relationships, by the time I wrote some of those poems, especially the painful ones, it was a way to release. So usually when I wrote it, that was my healing, whether I did counseling later on in life, but in my younger years, you kind of didn't. So that was my way of releasing. So this was my way of releasing him, but God had kind of showed me something in the process, which is why I really feel like it's meant to be told. So the poem is called Scaled.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was about the desire to want to love somebody. So I'm just going to read it.
Go ahead.
Scaled. Do you ever just want to love someone to healing? More than just potential that you see? Looking at a caged bird that needs to break free? Stuck in a dimension of time for a crime he may or may not have even committed. But now he's on trial with a life sentence in his mind when he really can be acquitted. He knows the master judge, but for whatever reason, won't allow him to advocate through the pieces of his heart, bruised soul, and broken body, while the mind stays on overload, trying to balance that monster inside. I know you want that beast calm like the Dead Sea, but you keep surfing in oceans where the tide is too high and the thought of drowning keeps you on shore, away from reaching the ultimate wave that you seek. To the land of safety, peace, tranquility, strength, empowerment, encouragement, exhortation, and unconditional love. To love you through your unlovable moments, and to remind you that you're more than what you believe sometimes, while helping you lift back up your crown when it starts to slip. Real rap from the grit. I felt the need to love on you, to love you with that more love that comforts, covers, and keeps. That love that reminds you that you are that quality, unique masterpiece of art that I enjoy as my premium personal collection.
Mm.
Giving you that non judgmental type of love, but not let you wallow in your mess type of love, so that you can edify to your highest self kind of love. That 528 hertz frequency type love that restores every bad signal and cross lines so that you can flow in a groove that you can chill in and vibe with for a lifetime. But if me never get the chance to whine a little dance with you back under the stars again, just know that I pray through those stars straight to the throne for you to be healed in every way so that you can love and be loved again the right way. With that restorative type love that can only come from God as your source, that transformative type love that brings out all of who you were created to be and sets you on course, that agape type love that reminds you that He created you marvelously complex. So learn to love all of you as He does, because He's pleased with what He created in life's vortex. Man, if I could only get you to see what I see and know what I know, to trust love one more time, I promise you it's different with growth. Scaled.
Hey, give him a round of applause. Yes, yes. Very good, very good.
That was wow.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
I had a whole movie in my head. Like it was just like I saw the pictures. I just thought, oh,
Thank
it's
you.
Well, thank you very much for being a part of the
It
journey.
was an honor. It was an honor and a privilege. I thank you.
Thank you very much. And of course, family, make sure you go to a website which leads to EataCure, the
you gonna
Caribbean
get
Craze,
this.
you know,
It's proposal tonight.
and don't forget, hit it up on Cash App, of course, hit up on IG, hit it up on, of course, via email, and show you some love. Show us some love. Again, Marcia, thank you very much for coming on. We want to give you again a well-deserved round of applause. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you for being. Give your boys a big hug when you see them. Group hug, group hug, group hug.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
everything.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you so much, Marcia.
And thanks to your children for being strong.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Someone said powerful. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
The comment
Yes.
right there. Oh
Yeah.
yes, powerful.
Wow.
Sis, powerful.
Thank you. Thank
Nice
you.
poetry. Someone's they
Right. They loving
we
it.
love
They loving it. They loving it. They loving it. That's good.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
All
you.
right. Be safe. All right, Marcia. We'll talk. All
All
right.
right. Well, have a great night.
All right.
Thank
Great.
you again. I
Take care.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Peace. Wonderful. Wonderful. Once again, let's thank, of course, Marcia Moore. And make sure you get a book on to Amazon under Marcia M. Harvey. Her book so far, this one I got, Marcia, Poems from the Heart. As she says, very good poems. She got some very good stuff on there. So, that was very good. I enjoyed it. Again, please support her websites, support all that she's doing. All those brothers and sisters that might know somebody that might have lupus or suffering in any way that needs to take care of their health. Stop playing and go get it done. Stop playing and go get it done. This is all of her stuff here. Again, email her. She does, like she says, free 10-minute consultations. Now, don't take advantage. So if you go over time, hook a sister up. You know what I'm saying? Hook a sister up. You know what I'm saying? All right, my dear. So I hope you enjoyed it. Empress, how you do? I hope you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
I did, and Simon, you always bring the most amazing people to your platform.
Oh yes,
And
I know.
I'm just so, you know, as our hearts go out to the guests, it also goes out to you equally because, a lot of them, I would not have known that, of them had it not
Yeah,
been for you. And it goes for a lot of us. So just
hey,
give
they wouldn't know,
thanks.
they wouldn't know about you if I didn't find you and brought you because you wasn't doing this. Now it's time to come out and let it out, and that's good. So it's all about reciprocal energy. It's all about participating in
Yes.
the learning center called Earth. This is a learning center. We got the good, the bad, the ups and the downs, the twos, the devils, and the gods. They're all on Earth. They ain't nowhere else. They're all on Earth. We all came through our mom and dad to experience this. Yes, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes you have to take the ugly and just fix up them fears and twist it and push it up and say, yo, your car look like Ninja Man. I'm big up to my friend Ninja Man. I know him for years. But it is what it is. Of course, what we got next on Malcolm X's birthday. Oh, we gonna tear it up with Lioness Crown from Fly Nubian Queen. Oh yeah, she's gonna be from the Fly Nubian Queen Network. She'll be there. We're celebrating the 96th born day of the Malcolm X, of course. And how should young people apply his message today? What Marcia is doing is she's applying another level of what Malcolm and what he's learned today because he took care of his health. Matter of fact, when they did the autopsy on Malcolm, they said his intestinal tract was like if he was a teenage or in his 20s, and that he was 39 years of age. So he was like he was in because he ate one meal a day as taught to him by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He ate one meal a day, and that's how you take care of your health. And he ate properly. I mean, I got the book How to Eat to Live. So, and I know that's what she spoke about on her program, How to Eat to Live. And the original book, like I said, was written by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad back in the 60s. How to Eat to Live. Dr. Sabi spoke about him. So Sabi said he's the first man that taught him to take care of himself. And that's How to Eat to Live. I suggest everybody get his book as far because he gives it simple. He gives it simple. No matter if he's a Muslim or not, he gave it simple. He goes to the scriptures and he tried to give guidance. And so we're going to have this. We're going to be talking about Malcolm and, of course, what young people should be doing today for what would he do in this day and time, only speculating, but it is what it is. Don't forget Phil Valentine, the metaphysics grandmaster, will be recoding the human archetype on the 20th. And, Dr. Phil Valentine been doing this thing for over 30-something years. So we're going to bring it. And don't forget, we're going to be interviewing myself, I guess, and Alma and Brother Joshua. We got a big lecture called Math is God's Autobiography. And we're going to be doing an interview on IG, Facebook, and YouTube. And then we have somebody else that I met on Major Hype Show. This Chief Petty Officer Nadine J. Barton will be here, another author, multi-published author, and trauma and pain survivor. You'd be surprised what our sisters are going through and what our brothers are going through, but a lot of our sisters are going through. So we got to big her up. That's coming on Sunday, May the 23rd. And boom, we got this beautiful disco diva. Now, this sister here was the first Black woman to run a Black modeling agency in Canada, an acting agency in Montreal, Canada. She even had to let one of her models actually had to step up and act like she owned the agency because of the racism, and she was a white woman that had to act like she owned the agency just to get certain work. And we're gonna talk about racism in modeling and acting and all of that stuff. Even her encounters with the extraterrestrials in Canada too. So that's interesting. Oh my goodness, I've heard the stories, and believe me, her mama even testified to it because her mama was in the car. So I mean, my goodness, you never know what's happening in the North Poles, the North regions. My goodness. And after that, we have Better Health Shop. We're going to be spreading light and love on a sponsor. And we're going to try to bring in different sponsors that's going to be coming in. Better Health Shop. You know, she has the monatomic gold, the colloidal silver. And we're going to be doing a nice little interview with this beautiful sister. She's from out of Trinidad, I heard. So I can't wait to bring her on. And last but not least, for the month of May, this is the lecture, the first lecture I'm doing in Brooklyn, New York. Oh, yes. Math is God's autobiography. Can you read it? Oh, man, myself, Joshua Sarah, and that beautiful sister, Ama Akata. They will be there May the 30th. I can't wait. I'm going to have fun with the audience like I usually do. I know Josh is going to go PowerPoint. Me, I'm going to go straight to the point. I ain't doing PowerPoint. I'm going straight to the point. That's what I like. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have some fun as I do numerovation for activation. How to activate your numbers. Amma is going to do energetic scheduling, how to schedule your life energetically through the energies of the universe. And then, of course, our mathematician or mathematician, mathematics himself, master of mathematics, Joshua Sarah, will be doing mathematics and makes a genius. He shows you how the genius of understanding math from an easy perspective, like how the Indians are doing and how the people from India and China is doing. That's why America is 26 on the list as far as technology and mathematics is concerned. India, China, those are the ones doing the darn thing. And Nigeria and those places. But America, they last on the list. Don't let them fool you. They last on the list. You know what I'm saying? And of course, my dear, let's of course we gotta always have this content disclaimer. I'm not playing with nobody. Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guests and speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. So let me run through some of the ads. There we go. I see Marcia still back there. Well, Marcia, you want to come back in? See Marcia backstage. Let me big up, of course, talk about your earrings, my sister, your product and what you create. Here it is, your beautiful handmade designs. Talk about it, please.
Beautiful earrings, sister. They floral earrings. That is my specialty. I do make more simple earrings. So if you do not care for the flowers, but I'm just like, I'm in a place right now where, sisters, when you get these earrings, I feel that this is a part of our unity. You know, this is a part of our expression of the feminine energy and to show respect. So this month, and King Simon, this month has not been exactly what I want it to be. But I see that the divine energy is moving me in such a different direction, and I have linked up with sisters, a lot of young sisters to represent them because they're the ones that I'm really am targeting. Because the sisters that are like in their 30s and 40s and 50s, they gravitate towards these easily. But it's the younger ones that are kind of timid because they prefer studs and tiny earrings. So I'm working on a whole new look right now. So I just I really have something new to coming. I just can't wait. I can't wait.
Wonderful.
It's coming.
Don't forget to hit up on IG, 1,000,000_adornment, email, Empress Aisha Moore at Gmail, and spread love via Cash App at Empress Moore.
You know what, Brother Keys, it's almost like I don't even know what to say right now about it because right now it's like the universe is just doing its own thing. And I'm just kind of like at a place where I'm just like, okay, all right, let me just go left because you say go left. I don't know what's left, but I'm going left anyway. I'm going right, I'm going up, I'm going down.
All right. As long as you find the path, you'll be all right.
I'm on the path.
That's right. Remember, if you want to do anything dealing with real estate, please support our sister Janelle at 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. Don't forget my son's music. Make sure you show some love. The links are right there on the bottom of the flyer. Make sure you show him some love. Get that link and get that music on all platforms. Lloyd Strayhorn, seen him today. My brother Lloyd, man, he was reading one of these old books, man. You might as well blow the dust off of it. And hit him up at lloyd-strayhorn.com and lloyd-strayhorn.com to take his classes. And also, don't forget, my classes are going to be pre-recorded and be out by June 22nd. That's my grandmother's 104th birthday, Earth Strong. Can't wait to put those 30-minute to 45-minute classes on recording. I'm going to be doing a lot of that next week. Chalkboard and all. I'm going old school, family. You're gonna think you're in class. That's how you're gonna think. You're in classroom, chalkboard, and I'm writing. But it will not be live because I need to stay focused as I'm teaching. Also, please, family, support pedalwise.com. Make sure you hit them up, hit Pedalwise up right now if you can. She got some great products. And remember, we got the 10% off coupon code. That's King 2021. That's 10% off coupon code at King 2021. Show them some love and they will show you love back. They got great reviews with her right now, so I'm loving it. And if you want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name, date of birth, 347-496-1022. I do have a waiting list. I ain't gonna lie. Got a waiting list going into June. And if you get on the list, hey, at least you won't be in July. So let's stay focused and make it happen. You will be taken care of and you will not be disappointed. If you do want a fast one, I do suggest contact Lloyd. If you want to get on his list, I think his list is not as long as mine. If you want to contact Lloyd through his website and get a session with Lloyd, you will not be disappointed. Lloyd is one of my teachers, but if you want to do one with me, mine is going into June, already about mid-June. I'm already into mid-June, so get ready. So you need to get on this list. Get on the list by texting me. All right, prayer time. Are you ready for prayer?
My book.
Oh, you got the book. Oh, well, thank you very much.
Gotta represent.
She got the book. I signed it too. I signed the book. Hey, show them the other book. Did you get some other books the other day?
Yes. I just put them in my right here next.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the one I signed for. No, give me
1 second. Hold on.
Okay. She wants to run and go get the books that she's been getting.
Get the books. Y'all gonna have to see the beautiful books. Here we go. Oh wait.
In the meantime.
Oh wait. Oh no, the other book is in my daughter's room. Her math book by her math book is in the room. My mathematics is in the room.
Okay. Oh, so she got the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson.
Yes.
He sent both of them together?
He did. Good. They were both
good. Woke doesn't mean broke. Make sure y'all get that.
Yes. And the other one, the brother sent, never opened it.
So you still ain't open it?
I did not open it. I've been so busy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was waiting for the perfect moment. I'm one of those people who got to have the perfect moment.
I just got it also. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Monetizing gentrification.
Yes, monetizing gentrification. I just got it myself also. It's here. Yes. Just got it myself. Wow. I just bought 2 new books. Say again?
No, I was reading the bottom of it. Building Black Ownership.
Yes, that's right. That's a very good book. Yeah, check it out. I just bought 2 new books today. Yes. This one is Acts of Faith. I've had this years ago. I had to rebuy it because Acts of Faith did help me out back in the day. And this is by Ian Levon Zant. I got the Acts of Faith. And Nicholas, big up to Nicholas Brooklyn Bookstore. And I got to buy this book, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Of course, y'all know the 48 Laws of Power author. He wrote Art of Seduction, Art of War. I got all of those books too. And this one is called the Laws of Human Nature. So far, so good. I've been already tuned into it. I ain't playing. I gotta read. I gotta study. So
yes. And special thanks to Billy Carson. Special thanks to him. I want to just give him a shout out. Thank you.
Yes, Billy Carson is doing his thing, man. That's my brother. Let's shout out Delbert Blair's Legacy Shop, please. Family, make sure you support Delbert Blair. The MetaCenter2.com. That's a MetaCenter2.com for books, Faraday tech, magnets, protectors, all types of stuff you got on there. Show them some love. And we're getting ready to do this prayer now. Prayer time, family. Get ready. Get yourself together. And let's go. Go ahead, my sister. We're going to make it happen right now.
Let's see. All right, everyone. Give thanks. Give thanks. Oh, deep breath in and exhale. Please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Give thanks.
Hey, you know what to do. Say it again, Trev, to the people in the back.
People in the back. I like how you say that. Okay, we're going to do this collectively, together. Give thanks once again. Please, universal creator, know in our hearts that we love you. Please protect us and this planet on which we live now. Please open our minds, our spirits, and our souls to receive only truth in your love now.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Empress. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all that you're doing. Give those children a beautiful group hug. Those children, make sure they get a group hug when you get a chance. I don't know when you'll get them in a group. You got to give them a group hug, okay? And thank you very much for being a part. I hope to see you. We got, of course, this Malcolm X start. I think we're doing it at 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, I think, is the Malcolm X one. So I hope you can make it for that one. That's going to be a good one, Malcolm X and Lioness Crown. We're going to be talking about it, okay?
Yep.
All right, sister. You be safe and have a good evening, all right?
You too. Give thanks. You too.
Give thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's Empress Aisha Moore. Make sure you show her love, show her some support. King Simon is about to get on out of here. Want to thank MARCIA Moore. Want to thank Empress Aisha Moore. Yes, don't forget this coming Wednesday, once again, we got this beautiful sister from Lioness Crown. We'll be in the building celebrating Malcolm X's birthday anniversary. Then we got Phil Valentine once again. Then on Saturday, we got us coming in. Then on Sunday, we got Nadine coming in. Next Wednesday, Sheree coming in, Susie Q. That Saturday after, we got Better Health Shop, and don't forget the lecture that we're doing. Advanced tickets are $25, $30 at the door. You can pay via PayPal or Cash App. You can text me if you want, 347-496-1022 if you're in the New York area. Join us as we're going to have fun. Math is God's autobiography. Can you read it? Regardless of land, label, or language, family, there's but one God, like Marcus Mosiah Garvey says. Up you mighty nation, you can accomplish what you will. And what Khalid said, Dr. Khalid was saying, regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one God. Big up to Dr. Khalid. Big up to Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And big up to you. Thank you for tuning in. Be safe. Stay focused. Stay out of trouble. Stay healthy. Peace. This is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now.